There's so much more to say about how they took away the land we love to seed. Our dreams are lost for greed.
I'll give you my card. I'm writing a book about a government scandal.
Yeah.
Did you feel? Isn't that a great idea? Rip off the taxpayers.
They've been doing that here for a long time.
You're right. Yeah, it's a huge scandal where government built this bypass that costs more than the Coquihalla Highway, which is 8 times longer and 1,000 times more difficult to build. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to write a book. We're going to expose it. So here we are, 11 years later, 20,000 hours later.
Yeah.
The mini book should be out in a month or so. And in the meantime, you know, my sister will never walk out of Wascan. Our business never will be what it could have been. And but you have to stand up for what you believe in, or you know, if you don't, what is it going to be next time? It went for the $1 million Grant Devine scandal, which Brad Wall was in that government along with Bill Boyd, to now the $2 billion Regina bypass scandal. What's it going to be next time? $3 trillion? Like, really? We've been in the siding business. We manufacture building products.
Yeah.
And we had a machine that can produce $500 million worth of insulated siding. And so we needed a building 300 feet long.
Yep.
And so midway through construction, they moved it to accommodate the developers that bought land along Tower Road. Harvard, number one, Long Lake Investments. So we went to a lawyer. He said, Nestor, you'll never win. He said, Harvard have billions of dollars, and Harvard gets what Harvard wants. Well, we're on the East End. There's land they bought for $5,000 and then flipped it and bought it back for $400,000. And then the GTH scandal, you probably found out how the nuns got screwed. They needed 54 acres of land at the GTH, and instead of buying it from the nuns for $5,000 to $6,000 an acre, what everybody else is getting in the area, they went and waited till this Robert Topop came along, who just happens to rent land to Bill Boyd, who was the deputy premier and the minister of the GTH, over 2,200 acres at Kindersley. And he ended up making an offer to purchase on the nuns' land plus 3 times more land. And then he flipped the land to Anthony Marcourt, and he made $6 million. It didn't even go through land titles. Then Brad Wall signed an order in council to pay $21.1 million for 4 times as much land as they needed at 20 times the rate everybody else is getting for in the area. They bulldozed through our property. You're still doing social media?
I do stuff with the library, art gallery.
Library, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's my card. Yeah, I've been fighting the government for 11 years. They took our land and bulldozed through our property. So we've got a new award, actually, we're doing. It's called the Highway Robbery Golden Handcuff Award.
That's awesome.
So check us out on Facebook. And our expansion plans, we had a machine that could produce $500 million worth of siding, insulated siding. It's 300 feet long, so it's from here to the end of the block. And they didn't care. The developers bought land on Tower Road, Harvard, number one, and Murad El Khatib. And the mayors of the city were part of the collusion with the Regina Regional Opportunities Commission.
Right.
Like, it's really deep. This is so, the more I got into it, I've spent 20,000 hours, I realized that, wow, how can something happen in broad daylight so bad in Saskatchewan? And nobody cares. So you say, well, you know, sucks to be me, or do you say, no, this is wrong? So we stood up to the government. I've spent 20,000 hours fighting the government because you can't stop them. There's political influence in the government, the NDP party, in the justice system, in the provincial auditor, in the RCMP. We went to the RCMP, they did nothing. The important thing is that we need to stand up as a group, and fight the government, because we hire them to do the job of running our province, making life better for everybody.
Right.
And what do? They make it better for their people.